cardinals, bishops, priests, religious, fellow Sarans, and friends. I thank you for this opportunity to address you as your ambassador, as one who had the great privilege during the last 9 months of representing the dedicated and devoted members of Serra International. I, along with my wife Sharon, have had the opportunity to travel across the world, both virtually and personally, representing Serra International, meeting clergy, and meeting fellow Sarans. The clergy I have met truly appreciate the work of Serra. The Sarans I have met are warm, generous, kind, hardworking men and women of service to the church. It has been such an honor to represent you all. It is a tradition in Serra that the outgoing president provide concise and succinct remarks regarding the state of Serra. Unfortunately, I have never been concise nor succinct. Nonetheless, I thank the Toronto Convention Committee for this opportunity to address you with my thoughts regarding the state of our wonderful organization as we gather together at the 79th Annual Convention in Toronto, Canada. It is unfortunate that Sharon and I cannot be there with you in person today. On a personal level, we were certainly looking forward to concluding my year, or 9 months, as president of Serra International in person at this convention. As you may have heard, Sharon and I are not able to attend in person because we are not vaccinated and unable to cross the border at this time. That is a story for another time. While it is truly a personal disappointment for both Sharon and myself to be missing this convention in person, I really cannot be upset at God over this situation, as he has blessed me so much in my time with Serra. While there is certainly disappointment, I have nothing but praise and thanksgiving to our Lord for all the opportunities he has given Sharon and myself to do the work of Serra for the church, to travel the world on behalf of Serra, and perhaps most importantly, meet wonderful Sarans such as all of you. God has been gracious to me, and my time with Serra has been a blessing. For that, I give him thanks and praise. Just to give you a roadmap to follow along, it is my intention to break up my time into 3 separate sections. I will first start by providing a traditional State of Serra address. I will then move on to a second tradition over the last several years and provide a brief update as to my year as president of Serra International. I will conclude with some thank yous and some acknowledgement to those who have helped Serra along the way and are worthy of special recognition. The purpose of providing you with this roadmap is so that you will know I am making progress as we go through this talk and have some clue that it might be coming to an end at some point. First, let me thank you for the distinct honor of being president of this wonderful organization. As I stated in my address at the banquet in Chicago, Illinois, when I became president, I am a convert to faith, having become a Catholic in 1998. Within 2 years, I was a member of Serra, and shortly thereafter, I was president of my local club. When I first entered Serra, it never occurred to me that I would have any role outside of Toledo, Ohio, and I certainly never considered being on an international board, let alone becoming president of the Serra International Foundation and then Serra International. I am humbled by your confidence in permitting me to serve in those roles and have nothing but gratitude for those Sarans who have assisted, promoted, and aided me along the way. I feel unworthy of the roles in which I have served and am truly grateful for the confidence which you have had in me, even though I think it is perhaps undeserved. I would be remiss if I didn't thank my de facto co-president this year, my wife, Sharon. Sharon is not only my wife, but she is a fellow Saran. She has truly been a partner in all my travels, as you will see shortly, and has supported my work and graciously given her time to assist me. I could not have done the things I have done as a Saran without her help. Next, let me thank the office in Chicago for all of its help. I have always said that John's job is to make me look good. That has been very difficult for him at times, but he tried his best. Thank you also to Barbara, Giovanna, Rosemary, and Ann McCormick, who left Serra earlier this year to pursue other opportunities. John and the office have been a great help to me. There are also so many Serrans, alive and deceased, that I would like to thank for their help and friendship along the way, but I'm afraid that I would forget so many, so I will not risk making that mistake. You all know who you are. So what is the state of Serra? The state of Serra is mixed. As with many lay organizations such as ours, it is a challenge to grow membership, continue programs, pay for our administration, and stay relevant with the world and Holy Mother Church. While I am sure that our church and organizations such as ours have faced similar challenges in the past, it certainly seems to me that we are facing unique challenges to continue the good work which we all strive to do. I do take some comfort in the fact that as I have read some speeches from past presidents of Serra International, many of them mentioned challenges in membership and other areas similar to the challenges we face today. In his State of Serra address in 1968, past President Scatina quoted former Episcopal advisor John Cardinal Cody's comments to him, quote, "To take heart and keep faith in the turbulent times ahead. As never before is there such a need for Serra," close quote. I think those remarks could be said today as well. I mentioned this to point out that Serra has survived the challenges of the past and is well positioned to thrive in the future. After several years of steep and steady decline in membership, I think we have stopped the losses and stabilized the membership situation. I thank past presidents Biscardi and Gallegos in particular for their membership initiatives. I truly think that those initiatives went a long way in stopping many years of steady decline. While it's important to continue to grow our individual clubs, I think that there are real opportunities for growth in chartering new clubs. I recently was part of a charter ceremony for a new club in Nebraska. I am aware of clubs getting ready to be chartered in the United States, Canada, and Nigeria. I think that the chartering of new clubs needs to be an important part of our membership plan. I am confident that Serra International, its councils, regions, districts, and clubs are ready to meet this challenge and grow once again. However, while the potential for new clubs is great, we must be careful as well. Our ambition to form new clubs must always be tempered with prudence and wisdom. We have seen in the past that occasionally clubs have been chartered without the proper indoctrination and knowledge of what it means to be a Serran. We must make sure that new clubs are properly educated, trained, and mentored. Any club we form must have well-balanced members who are solid Catholics and who are willing to do the work of Serra. I do believe that Serra has a particular challenge regarding the individuals we ask to become members. In the early days of Serra, members of Serra were leaders in the Catholic Church, and membership was actually very selective. In fact, I was recently reminded that Serra was an opportunity for successful Catholics to join an organization such as ours, since years ago, Catholics were often prohibited from joining other organizations. The fact that Catholics are now accepted into other organizations possibly explains some of the reason for our declining membership and decline in leaders. It is the leaders that I want to focus on right now, however. We need to make sure that we are recruiting the best Catholics to be part of our Serra membership and leadership. We cannot let other competing organizations, I don't need to say their names, steal the top business men and women and those that the church relies upon when it needs help. Those men and women must be recruited to Serra because Serra's mission is so much more vital to the church than many of those other organizations. We need to return to the days when the bishop, the vocations director, the parish priest, all called the president of Serra when something was needed to be done in a particular diocese, nationally or even globally. Serra can no longer be an afterthought or even a burden on the bishop or the diocese. Serra must return to the times when it was considered a valued member and a necessity for the church, co-laborers with Christ for vocations. As President-elect Schweitz has said on more than one occasion, Quoting, I believe, Cardinal Stritch, not everyone is called to be a member of Serra, but Serra needs to call the leaders of the Catholic Church to be part of its organization. By doing so, we will solve both the leadership problem and the membership problem, because good leaders will bring in more members. On a side note, I am very happy that Serra has been working for the last several years on enhancing its relationship with the church hierarchy. Some of that is done at the council level and some at the international level. This last year, Serra International, with great help from the foundation, was a lead sponsor for the symposium on the theology of the priesthood at the Vatican. This was a vital opportunity to strengthen our connection with the Vatican. Serra International and the foundation also work with the North American College in Rome and the Institute for Priestly Formation to enhance our visibility with priests, vocation directors, and the church. Serra International and the United States Council will also be working on collaborating with the USCCB on a major Eucharistic conference to be held in 2024. I know that other councils, such as Italy and Canada, work with their respective leadership groups as well to do the same thing. This is all very important for Serra and must continue. Another challenge that faces Serra in the immediate future is our issue of branding and marketing. There was a time when every bishop and every priest knew what Serra was, what Serra stood for, and what Serra did. I am not sure that is the case today. I am even more certain that Serra is not well known amongst the lay people in the pews at the church. That needs to change. Serra has worked for many years to build a reputation as a lay organization in service to Holy Mother Church. I think we risk losing that reputation if we are not careful about our branding and how we identify ourselves. We are all members of Serra International. We are not just members of various vocation committees at the local parish. Serra is much larger, and we can never forget that. Every club is chartered by Serra International, and every Serran is a member of Serra International. I know that many clubs in the United States and some other places have started using different names by which they identify themselves. I know that this is a sensitive issue to many of you, but I really think we need to be careful about that practice. At my last board meeting 2 days ago, I recommended that we set up a committee from the Serra International Board, the United States Council, and the Foundation to discuss this issue further. I realize that many of you in this room may feel differently about this issue, but I think we need to adopt a cohesive strategy to protect our good name as an organization and our branding. I have seen at least 2 strategic plans over the last 5 years that talked about the confusion in branding between our international organization, the councils, and the clubs. Well, I am not going to stand up here and tell you the perfect answer, although I'm tempted to do so. I will tell you that we need to agree on a strategy to solve this issue. Another issue that I think we need to take up is the issue of our international convention, our regional conventions, and our council meetings. The International Convention is the highlight of the Serra International year. According to our Constitution and bylaws, the convention is the place where Serrans get together to make decisions on the running of our organization for the future years. The convention should be an event that all Serrans want to attend and an event that all Serrans are encouraged to attend. I had some preliminary discussions at the beginning of my presidency regarding the Serra International Conventions, but unfortunately did not make much headway on this issue, as I really wanted to have some meetings with our Serrans around the world. But the COVID-19 pandemic just made that very difficult. As much as we all love getting together at regional meetings and national councils and rallies, I think we need to be careful on the timing and focus of those other meetings to make sure they are not mini conventions and do not detract from the international convention. The international convention should be the highlight and focus of our joint meetings together. All other meetings, whether on a national or regional level, should be planned to support the international convention as opposed to compete with it. Again, I think we all need to come together and form a consensus on this issue, and I hope that the future leadership of Serra is able to do so. I do think it is possible to combine some of our national meetings with the International Convention to save time and expense and to schedule our regional conferences at a time during the year when they don't compete with the convention. This is a distinct challenge for us as a Serra organization, but is also an opportunity for us as well. I have never met a Serran who attended an international convention that didn't come away with a better understanding of our organization on a global level and a deeper love for Serra and its mission for the church. Finally, I want to remind you all that Serra is a very special organization with a particular mission. According to the historic teachings of our church, as reaffirmed in the Vatican II Council, our job in this world is to get to heaven, to take our spouses with us, and to take our family with us, and to take as many others as possible as well. When I became president of Serra International in Chicago last year, I spoke about the importance of our own spirituality and the need to have an active daily prayer life. I asked all Serrans to really work on the third prong of our Serra objectives, our own personal holiness. I even asked that all Serrans attempt to say a rosary, or at least a decade of the rosary, every day to invoke the aid of our Holy Mother. I also had Serra International consecrated to St. Joseph in the year of St. Joseph. Nothing we do as Serrans will be fruitful unless it comes from God, and it won't come from God unless we are working on our own relationship with him and listening to him. As Serrans, we have a particular niche in that mission of getting our families and others to heaven, and we must guard against losing focus. There are many great Catholic organizations that focus on different aspects of living the Catholic life. The focus of Serra, since its inception, has been to ensure that the church has good, holy, and faithful priests and religious. That is our niche and our focus. Even within that arena, there are a lot of other organizations that pray for vocations and priests as part of their mission. There are a lot of parishes that have vocations committees and work to support vocations in their parish and in their diocese. Serra International, however, is the only lay organization aggregated to the Vatican with the sole purpose of supporting our priests, our religious, and our seminarians, and encouraging more men and women to hear God's call in their life. We are special because we are international. We are special because of our singular focus since the inception of our organization. We are special because we have not wavered from our mission. And we are special because of our deep ties, history, and connection with Holy Mother Church. We must continue to work to strive to enhance our relationship with Holy Mother Church and make sure all Catholics are aware of the great work and the mission of Serra. Without priests, we cannot have the Eucharist. Without the Eucharist, we cannot have the church. And without the church, we cannot have eternal life for ourselves and our families. May God richly bless you all as you continue to do the great work of Serra International. Always forward, never back. Take care.